Hello guys, very good morning. Welcome to Byju's Exam Prep, the most comprehensive preparation app for all the competitive exams. So today I welcome you all to my session. So that is data transmission in network layer, in the layers of networks in computer network. Okay, so in this I am going to brief you about how the information is flowing from one layer to another layer. So in one 5-layer model by taking it as an example. So actually we are having two reference model as you know. So that is a OSI reference model and also TCP/IP reference model. So by taking the ideas of both the layers and one hybrid model, the transmission model I will tell you by taking 5 layers like application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer and physical layer. Okay, so just I have brought you some animated content in order to understand how the control information is flowing from one layer to another layer, how we are going to get that information. Okay, so that is what I am going to teach you in this class. So please quickly join and mark your presence. So basically in computer network, so we can have different layers. The data will be transmitted from one layer to another layer and by adding some control information. Okay, so before I begin the session, so all of you please do subscribe the channel and please do like this session and please share with your friends. So this class information please share with your friends. If you are not yet subscribed yet, please do subscribe this channel. Request everybody to please do that. And also in this session I will be covering and one animated content for transmission of data for source to destination via the different layers. Okay, so just before I begin the session, so let me introduce myself. Myself Murali Krishna Bokkasamudram. I am having 21 plus years of teaching experience both in the GATE and also I worked in different engineering colleges. And I am topper in different NPTEL courses and I am certified as international engineering educator and mentored more than 50,000 students in different core areas of computer science. Those are theory of computation TOC, operating systems OS, computer organization and architecture COA, computer networks CN, digital logic DLD and information and communication technology, that is ICT. So this is about my brief profile. Now let me start the session. So all of you, I request everybody to please do subscribe the channel for getting lot of benefits of free classes and please share with your friends and do like the session. And now this is the general outline of this data transmission in the layers of the network. As you know, we are having two types of reference models, that is OSI reference model and TCP/IP model. OSI is a open system interconnection. TCP/IP is a transmission control protocol and internet protocol that is originated from the ARPANET. Okay, so combining the ideas, we have taken 5 layers, that is application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer and physical layer. So I have shown 5 layers at the sender host and 5 layers at the receiver host. In between routers will be there. In the router, we can have only 3 layers, that is the physical layer and then data link layer and then network layer. That's it. There is no need of for transport layer and application layer in the router. Okay. So how the data will go? So basically, whenever you wanted to post a letter in a postal system, so first we will write the letter and we will fold it and we will keep it in the envelope. So after keep it in the envelope, we have to write the to address and also from address. Okay, then we will post the letter. Then as per the destination address, the letter is being delivered to the destination. But here in a network, the information is passed from the sender to the receiver by means of different layers. Okay, so if you see the diagram here, first application layer, sending process will add the application header and the transport layer add the transport header, network layer added the network header and the data link layer added the data link header and then physical layer added the physical header and then data is transmitted. Okay, so just like whenever you post a letter, you just make the envelope, but the person who received your letter, okay, just remove the envelope and then open the letter. Similarly, the sender who is adding the headers in different layers, control information, at the receiver end, at the particular place, in the appropriate place, the headers are being stripped off. That means headers are being inspected and then removed by the receiver. So I hope every one of you understanding. So if you can see this diagram once again, you can understand this. Okay, sending process. Okay, and the application header, when it comes to transport layer, it becomes a payload, and when it comes to network layer, transport header becomes a payload, and when it comes to data link layer, network header becomes a payload. Okay, and at the receiver side, receiving process, what it is doing? At the respective layer, headers are being stripped off. For example, data link header, data link layer only can understand. That is a data link protocol. Network header, network layer only can understand. That is being stripped off by the receiver's network layer. So this is how the data is being moved. So in general, application layer, we call the data as a message. In the transport layer, we call the data as a segment. These are the things you need to remember. In the network layer, we call the data as a datagram, or it may be a packet. And in the data link layer, the data is called as the frame. And the physical layer, the data is called the raw bits. Okay. So what is the content of the header usually? Okay. Content is nothing but header content is control information. For example, in the envelope, we write a pin code and to address, from address, etc. Similarly, application layer, application related control information is there, like URL addresses and all. In the transport layer, we add the port addresses. So source port number, destination port number, etc. In the network layer, we are supposed to add network header content, that is a source IP address, destination IP address, and some additional information. In the frame header, that is a data link layer, we are supposed to add source MAC address, destination MAC address, etc. So these headers are being added, but whereas very uniqueness in the data link layer, if you see, once again you see this diagram, what is happening? So it is pass on the information to the below layers. Everywhere some additional information is added. So head and tail both are there. Frame trailer, frame header is there in the data link layer. Here you can observe. Okay, this data link layer, why it is required? So in general, when multiple data units are being transmitted from sender to destination, okay, so the receiver must be able to understand what is the first data unit, what is the second data unit. So because it has to provide the reliable transmission of data without any errors, and also should get the acknowledgement. Connection oriented services also should be given. So in that case, for giving an acknowledgement, if you do not know what is the starting point of the frame, what is the ending point of the frame, that is a head and tail, we cannot get it acknowledged. So that's the reason frames are supposed to be defined with the delimiters, so that the starting point and ending point, if you know, then it is easy to give the acknowledgement. So to identify the out of order frames, or to identify the frames that are not yet arrived, all those things. For providing a acknowledgement system, and also to provide a connection oriented service. So different types of services data link layer provides to the network layer. Okay. So this is how we are going to have the things, but here the most important information is application protocols are required in order to create a virtual communication between the two application entities. Dotted line indicates virtual communication. So here we are creating illusion as if the application entity of the sender is contacting with the respective application entity of the receiver, but actual data is moving from all other layers in the down direction, here in the up direction. So sending process will keep on adding the headers, and receiving process will keep on removing the headers. So application protocols, if you study, you can understand what is the communication from application entities. If you study the transport protocols, it's a virtual communication between transport layer of sender to transport layer of destination. So that is using the TCP protocol and UDP protocol. Similarly, if you study about network protocol, you can understand the virtual communication between the sending network layer to the receiving network layer. So that even though the actual communication is via the below layers, okay, if you study those only network layer, if I understand, for example, so it is directly dealing about how we are able to communicate with the receiver's network layer. How headers are being added, how headers are removed, and what should be the content of header, okay, and what are the duties of network layer, all those things. These are called network protocols, okay. Similarly, data link protocols. So data link layer is having both the header and tail in order to ensure that the delimiters of data is being defined in order to give acknowledgement and understands, and also loss of data in order to recover. So this is how the layers are being defined. And the most important thing, as I told you, the application layer is protocol data unit is called a message, and the transport layer protocol data unit is called segment, and then network layer protocol data unit is called a packet, or it is also called as a datagram, packet or datagram. And in the data link layer, it is called a frame. In the physical layer, it is called raw transmission. Actually, this is what we have considered, and this is considered to be just like outline. Okay, so you can visualize the subject, the total content of the subject just by looking at this diagram. So the entire process that is going on in network from one node to another node to the next node is like this only. Okay, every layer is keep on adding the headers, and every layer at the receiver side keep on removing the headers, and while it is sending again it is keeping the headers. So that's what the data transmission in network layer. This is actually 5-layer model we have considered, like application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. Usually if you take a OSI reference model, we will have 7 layers like application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link layer, and physical. Whereas in the TCP/IP we have only 4 layers, that is application layer, transport layer, internet layer, which is equal to the network layer of OSI model, and also host to network layer, only 4 layers. So combining the ideas of these two, one has to study all these 5 protocols, 5-layer model, hybrid model. Okay. So that's all. I hope you people have understood and visualized the subject in a detailed manner to understand the each and every layer in brief. Okay. And before I conclude the session, you can just have look at these slides. And we are starting, and we are already started the target NILIT 2023. So for more than 550 vacancies in scientist B and assistant A post. And in this course, we are offering 240 plus hours of live classes and 15 plus chapter wise study notes and 1000 plus practice questions. Okay. So this is already started on 1st April. Interested people can join. It is more useful once if you practice these questions. Definitely you can crack this NILIT 2023. And on every Sunday, we are providing Learn with Fun classes for the electronics, electrical, instrumentation, and computer science. You can start from the 2nd April onwards. You can do subscribe the channel right now for getting these benefits of free classes. And also, 2023, our students are extraordinarily done well for the GATE results. And this is the statistics. 62 students whose rank is under All India 50. There are 62 students whose All India rank is under 50, and there are 13 students whose rank is under 10, and there are 107 students under All India rank 100. And let us congratulations to all these, and big congratulations to these 3 people who topped the list. And All India rank 5 for the computer science by Dhruv, All India rank first number 1 that is a Gautam P&I, and All India rank 4 for EEE and instrumentation by Sarv Verma. Okay. So, and in addition to this, many of the aspirants who have taken the coaching and test series in the BYJU'S exam prep have done extraordinarily well, and almost all more than 50% of them are qualified, and these are the statistics. And I wish you all the best for GATE 2024 aspirants and also NILIT 2023 aspirants. That's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Please do subscribe the channel, BYJU'sExamPrep.com, download the app, and then share this subscription with your friends. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all. Have a good night. Thank you. See you all once again.